Good morning, Lobos. This is Dr. Sorensen, the grateful principal of La Jolla Community High School. I appreciate this time together during this advisory. I'm going to talk about three things. One is being a champion, how that champion can generate wealth for you, and how the ACT can also help you realize our mission and vision of post-secondary success through high levels of learning. So success after high school through learning and through learning how to learn. And transition on now to the concept of asking you and your teachers to engage. I know I'm not in the room with you, but there is an adult in the room with you, hopefully. So I'm calling you out, adult. Please help me with this. Right now, everyone grab a blank sheet of paper. It can be any sheet of paper. It can be lined, not lined, it doesn't matter. Just a blank sheet of paper. I'll count down from 5 to let you accomplish that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blank sheet of paper. All I'm going to ask you to do is fold it up. So now you have sheets of paper like this. I'm going to ask you to do that same fold one more time. So therefore, you should have a sheet of paper with 4 columns on the front and 4 columns on the back. I'm asking you to please write down numbers 1 through 8 on that paper corresponding with each line. And I'll show you what I mean. So I have this one, I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the back side, write 5, 6, 7, and 8. What this presentation is going to be is not going to be one more old guy talking to you, okay? I'm going to ask you to engage. I'm going to ask you to write things down. I'm going to ask you to find a partner to talk to, all right? We have about 30 minutes together. Let's try to make something out of it. Let's use this time wisely together to talk about success, generational wealth, and the ACT. On your 1 and 2, number 1, do me a favor. Think of some champions that you know. Could be in your personal life, could be celebrities, could be athletes, could be business people. Write down some of those names. Number 2, write down some characteristics or traits of those champions in the number 2 column. I'm going to give you about 40 seconds to jot down a couple names and a couple characteristics. Go. Here's my list. My list consists of some professional athletes like Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry that work tremendously hard when no one is watching to compete at the highest level when everyone watches. I love the story of Kobe Bryant when he was competing for the Olympics. They're in a foreign country. A lot of players are going to go out and hit the club. He's like, no, I'm staying home. I'm getting up early and getting a workout in. And that's why I love him and Steph Curry. You see them on the court. People want to be them, but they don't want to put the work in to be them. I have my wife on there. She supports me every day with her kindness and the value she adds to her community. I have Reese Witherspoon on there. I'm not really a big fan of her movies, but I love how she created her own production company for female-based movies, female-based directors to help add to those female champions that she wants to help. Warren Buffett. I don't know if you know this. Warren Buffett is worth $150 billion. He's so humble. He has the same house that he bought in the 60s. So he isn't in some mansion. He drives like a Toyota Camry. He's super humble, even though he's worth $150 billion. I have my mom on there. She supported me all through my youth, and I am so grateful for what she has taught me. And finally, Courtney Dauwalter, you probably don't know who that is, but she is one of the very best ultra marathon runners in the world. She kicks men's butts, she kicks girls' butts, she regularly runs 100-mile races. 100-mile races. So if you think you can't do something, look her up. She'll talk about something called the pain cave, which I love. She's on mile 80, mile 90, going deep into that pain, finding the grit to grind it out and be a top performer. So these are some people on my list that when I need to think of a champion, those are who I think of. Who's on your list? Take a look at that. Make any edits you may want to make after seeing my list. Being a champion can result in money. Let's talk a little bit about money just for a moment. If you take a look at this slide shows you the difference between when someone has a high school diploma and someone doesn't have a high school diploma. So in 2022, the average income for someone who didn't have a high school diploma was about $32,000. For those people that did have a high school diploma, they made about $40,000. So that difference was $8,424 a year. Now, $8,000. Who doesn't want $8,000? The biggest thing here is if you were to take that $8,000 or $8,400 every year and invest it in a high interest savings account at 5%, you would continue to grow your money. Give me an idea. Number 3, what amount do you think is behind that number 3? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Write it down now. That number is almost $60,000. And I don't know how many of you have seen an account with $60,000. I don't know how many of you have disposable income that's $60,000. But if you get your diploma, that could be your money in 5 years. Imagine what you could do with that money to make you more money, right? Your money should work for you. You should work for your money, and in continuance, that's how you build not just money, but wealth. So let's talk about that in a second. Really quick, everyone, find a partner. Teachers, if you want to have them work with the person next to them, that's fine. If you want to have them move around, that's fine. But you must have a partner, and you must be prepared to talk. So find a partner, stand up next to them, and whoever the taller person is, they're going to go first. So I'll wait a little bit, let you do that. Find a partner. Everyone must find a partner. Adults in the room, help me. Student leaders in the room, help me. Let's participate and get something out of this. Stand next to them. Tallest person goes first. Here's what I want you to answer. On your sheet, number 4, if you don't have your sheet, that's fine too. I want the tallest person to tell the shortest person, what is generational wealth? Then after the tallest person shares, I want the next partner to share what they think generational wealth is and add something to that definition. What is generational wealth? Go. The definition of generational wealth is pretty intuitive. It's people who have a lot of money, and those can be any sort of financial assets, cash, stocks, bonds, other investments, real estate, family businesses, right? It's how the rich stay rich. Just think of it. If you have very rich people above you on the generation before you, and you have an idea for a business and you need money, you can get that money from your family. If you plan on having children, if you plan on having grandchildren, if you can create or maintain the concept of the amount of money that can be passed on from generation to generation, you may be changing the entire trajectory of your entire family legacy. If you have not thought about owning real estate in this state, think about it now. People are moving in. Own your community. Own the land you live in. That is a major way that the middle class can build wealth. And if you have a diploma and you take that difference, that $6,000, and you were to invest that in a 5% high interest savings account for 5 years, you got 60 grand for a deposit on a piece of real estate that no one can take from you. That is generational wealth. Let's talk about how ACT and potentially graduation can help. The ACT, March 25th. Circle it on your calendar. Put a 1-week reminder. That is the big day of this assessment that can create massive opportunity for you. I don't know if you know this or not, but our superintendent of public instruction, Mr. Tom Horan, is talking about the idea of a graduation test requirement. They're talking about potentially having it be ACT. If you are a junior on March 25th and you're taking the ACT now, if you score well enough, that may help you. In a year, if our superintendent gets legislation passed to have a graduation requirement and you've already passed it your junior year, then you have nothing to worry about. So do your best on March 25th. Ensure that you graduate so you can make on average over $6 grand more a year, more than $6 grand per year, and you're on your way to finding a career, not a job. March 25th, ACT, it's coming up. So let's talk about the ACT. The ACT is a long test. As you can see from this graphic, I've kind of shown you the English, the math, the reading, the science, and the writing portion. Number 5 on your sheet. How long is the ACT test? How long is the ACT test? Go. Three hours and 35 minutes. 3 hours and 35 minutes. If you are Courtney DeWalter, you may talk about the ACT is the pain cave, and you got to run to it. 3 hours and 35 minutes, potentially changing your life to help you find success after high school. And the most interesting thing is that writing portion. That writing portion is extremely interesting because it happens after lunch. You've taken the ACT test for about 3 hours. So when that writing portion comes after lunch, be a champion. Do your best. Write your best. Writing skills can help you. Even if you're like, nah, mister, I just bump everything into ChatGPT. Okay, that's fine. We know AI can be a skill. But if you want to get the most out of Gen AI, you have to know how to write specific prompts. You have to be able to put words together and articulate them. So when the ACT comes on March 25th for your juniors and you come to that writing test, please channel your inner champion and do your best. I have some great news. If you look at our ACT scores from this school the last 3 years, we've gone up every single year in math, English, and reading from 21-22 all the way to 24-25. This next slide shows you a table. 15 out of 18 of these statistics have gone up. We are doing amazing work here at La Jolla. Overall, in the last 3 years, 33 out of 38 ACT metrics have gone up in this school. So I'm sure you've been to a spot, maybe a dollar store around our community, and they may go, oh, La Jolla, oh man, I hear that's crazy. You can tell them they're wrong. Don't fight them with your fists. Fight them with your mind. If they say, oh, ACT, I don't know, La Jolla, man, you can tell them 33 out of 38 ACT metrics went up. Did you know that? And they may look at you like, what? Yes, we are doing amazing things here. And what I love most about being a Lobo is often they underestimate us. We are changing a culture of what people perceive of us. We are champions. So if someone wants to talk dirty, you let them know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about other types of winning. 22-24 in spring, this is just team sports. We had a 21% winning percentage. This year, which doesn't include spring yet, we're only in March. I'm super excited about where we're going to go in spring. We have a 43% winning percentage. You may think, mister, 43%, that's not great. Look at the growth that we have made as a campus. So if someone talks dirty about La Jolla, you tell them, do you know that we've more than doubled our winning percentage this year from the last 2 years? Do you know we're hanging up 3 championship banners just this year and we haven't even gotten to spring? These are things that people don't know. These are things that some people outside of our community think about us and they don't even know us. So let them know. We have a chance to be an A-rated school. And I'm going to talk to you about how that can be important for us. So if someone talks dirty about us, you let them know we're close to being an A-rated school. Did you know that? Right now, based on projections, these numbers really don't have to mean much to you, but I'm just trying to show you how close we are. If you look at ACT proficiency and you take our numbers from fall, and we don't take the test in spring, we're about 2.32 points away from being an A. The good news is, last year, when we went from fall to spring, we saw over a 30% jump. And that 30% jump gets us 3-point-something points, which makes the difference in those 2.32 points. So if we replicate as juniors what our last year's juniors did, we will get to be an A. ACT is March 25th. Aspire is April 8th. If you're a freshman and you are taking the Aspire, we need you to show up. We need you to submit every single section. It's important for 2 reasons. A, if you come in and you submit every portion, we can get bonus points to be an A. And B, if you answer every portion and submit, we'll have growth information for data. I don't know if you know this, freshmen take Aspire. Sophomores take pre-ACT. The reason why we take Aspire, the reason why we take pre-ACT is to get you ready for game day your junior year, which is March 25th. So if you're a freshman, April 8th, circle it, come to school. Let's get some information. Make sure you submit for every single category so that can let your teachers know, that can let us know where you are as freshmen. So when we take it for pre-ACT, we can prepare you ultimately for ACT to potentially become an A school. Okay, mister, how does becoming an A-rated school impact me? Why should I care? 6 and 7. I have a table up here that shows you Avondale, 85323, the average home value. I have 85254, which is a zip code that I just picked kind of randomly between Phoenix and Scottsdale. Number 6, what do you think the average home value is? Avondale, 85323, compared to 85254. Number 6, write those 2 numbers down. Go. Average home, if you don't own your home, please work towards owning a piece of real estate. They cannot make more land. People are coming in. Please think about that. It's one of the very best long-term investments you can make. Our average home price is about $391,000. Phoenix and Scottsdale, about $865,000, almost $1 million. So, what do you think if you just Google school ranking for those 2 zip codes, the numbers you get are behind 7? Write down, out of 10, what do you think the average school ranking for those 2 zip codes are? Go. If you do a search on Google or whatever search engine you use, what you're going to find is they rank Avondale schools at 4 out of 10. They rank Phoenix and Scottsdale 10 out of 10. I'm not saying that's accurate. I'm not saying I know that. But what I'm telling you is if you have someone moving in from out of state, which is our ton of people coming in, which increases our real estate value, which increases our chance for generational wealth, they look at the school rankings. So if we can become an A, that ranking goes up. Guess what goes up? The amount of money that your home is worth, the amount of money of the real estate that you own. You are literally adding monetary value to our community by becoming an A school, and we are this close. We are this close to making that a reality. ACT can increase college scholarships tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It can help you get into the military through time tests. It can help you with professional licenses, finding a career over a job. If you know a skilled laborer who is not licensed, they're getting ripped off. If you can be licensed in the skill that you can do, that opens up so many more opportunities. Instead of being the laborer, and there's nothing wrong with that, instead of being the laborer for 40 years of your life, you can be the business owner. You can have people working for you on your plot of land that you own, that you possess. If we can become an A-rated school through ACT, we not only add value to us, we add value to our surrounding communities. You add value to your guardians. You add value to future generations behind you. You are changing an entire culture. We have been in existence for 23 years. We have never been an A school. And that allows people to talk dirty about us. We have a real chance to do something for the first time that's never been done. Records will always be broken. Records will always be broken. But what I can tell you, if you are the part of a team that does something for the first time, no one can ever take that away from you. You can be the class that is the first ever A-rated La Jolla Community High School in our existence and start a trend upward, and there is no stopping us. We hung banners this year, but I cannot wait until the first team wins the first state championship. Being an A is a state championship for our school. Be a champion. Number 8, write down why you are going to be a champion on that ACT. Write down your why behind why you are going to do your best on the ACT on March 25th. If you're a freshman, write your why for why you're going to show up on Aspire and make sure you submit every single section. And you're a sophomore, write your why for next year, after our juniors accomplish what we want to accomplish, how you're going to continue that legacy. Write your why. Number 8. ACT, it matters for so many reasons. I'm so grateful for you guys to be here with me in this space. I'm so grateful to the teachers that helped me do this. I'm so grateful to be a Lobo. There's no other place I would rather be. I'm asking for your feedback. Please scan this QR code, use that forms link. It's a couple of questions. You don't have to answer them all. I feel deeply about post-secondary success. I feel deeply about what ACT can offer us. I feel deeply about the value that being an A school can do for us. Help me get better. Take some time, fill out this QR code with your phone if it's okay by your teachers, or maybe they have this uploaded in Canvas, or maybe that form link is there. You can input that form, you can input that web address into your computer. Give me feedback for how I can be a principal for you. March 25th, ACT.